Aries, this is your story. I've been sitting with these cards for a little bit to understand the energies. And so this is about you're going through it. You are the transformation, a change, a completion in your life. You're really being put to some kind of a healing time and finding yourself, ultimately, is the story here. So let us start. I have the first card that came out was Starborn here, which to me says that you've come to a time in your life where it's almost like you have been put back in the egg for incubation. You've come to a point in your life where how things were going, what was happening was no longer beneficial to you. It was no longer serving you. And so you were thrown into this situation in your life where you were put back in the egg, and now you have to crack it yourself and get at it to be, it's almost like a rebirth. It's that transformation I'm talking about. Oh, so many of these cards are about transformation, and I'll show you in a minute. I clarified the Starborn. I don't usually do this, but I clarified the Starborn with Tarot, and I got the King of Shells, which is in traditional the King of Cups. So it very much feels to me like this time in your life, the situation has almost suspended you. It's literally put you back in the egg, and like the seahorses, it's almost like it feel this right now, the way that this came out feels very much to me like the seahorse, how it's able to suspend itself in water. And ironically enough, forgive my English, ironically, seahorses, they, from what I understand, the male is the one that carries the children, the that gives, I want to say give birth, but I also want to say incubate, which it goes right along with this egg. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but anyway, the male is the one that does the work of either giving birth or taking care of the children when they're still in this vulnerable form. Ironically, the next card out was the father, and I also clarified the father with Tarot, and what came out was the Seven of Acorns. Ooh, Seven of Acorns. For some reason in my mind it was the Six of Acorns, but it isn't, it's the seven. Right, which is great. So you're very much in this place in your life that you're being pushed back into an egg for you to, you're dealing with an energy that's very father-like, and for some of you, I feel like there's this element of abandonment, perhaps from your father growing up, or if this doesn't have to do anything with your father, for some of you it could very well be your inner father, or maybe your masculine energy, although there is a different card in this deck for the masculine energy that resonates more with me. But to me, this is very much, you see how there's two, it's like the dark side and the light side, and the father energy is very much of a balancing act of being the protector in the home and being the one that provides and supports. And then there's a side of that also, when the father leaves the home, it makes everybody really much feel abandoned, which is what I'm feeling now when I look at this card. I don't usually feel this way, but you know, there's a very light side and there's a very dark side. It's almost like the yin and yang of a father figure or a father energy, and it's almost like you've been pushed back into this form so you can give yourself a rebirth about this father energy, so you can rebirth yourself as the King of Cups. It says harmony and integrity on this card. It's almost like if you've been abandoned in your life by a father figure or your own father, or something has made you feel that way, it is now your time to rebirth that part of your life, that part of you. I hope I'm making sense. And again, English is not my first language. In this card, it says determination and stamina. So I know this has been hard. I know this has been extremely hard for you, and I can feel it, but more so, the next card out tells me this is where you've gotten the dead end. Now, I love this card. I'm a lot more enamored with the dark side, the shadow side of the aspects of us that we are less likely to accept and um, embrace. I'm a lot more interested in that side of humanity. So this card doesn't scare me. This card tells me that you are completely at a point in your life where you can no longer go forth with the old you. The old you needs to go, it needs to die, needs to transform, because this isn't going anywhere else. You have no other choice but to transform or stay in this, I want to say dead end, stay in this space where there's no movement forward, there's no more light going. Um, for some of you, if you resonate as what people call star seeds, this is very much a time in your life where your old self, the self that you've been conditioned and programmed to be, needs to go, because you need to come into your power as a star seed. If you can see anything walking around, those are my cats. What I like in this card, though, is that there's a hand right there in the middle, and that makes me feel like this is you. You're reaching out. You're reaching out for yourself, and it's almost like that moment in movies, or like when you go in the mirror and you put yourself in. It's almost like you're touching yourself. It's almost like this is you connecting with yourself, with a part of you that's been lost, that's been neglected, that's been feeling abandoned. I can feel how hard this is. So the next cards that came out right above the Starborn was the snake, which is time to heal. And then the card right next to that is the butterfly, transformation card. That's why I know Spirit it's a very loud message of this is it. This is a point in your life where you have to find yourself. The old you is not coming forward. There's nowhere else to go with the way that you used to be. You have now to rebirth yourself into a little canary. It's a really cute bird, and it says, sing your own song, which is why I said you are now finding your voice. You are finding who you are. And this really goes well with that idea of being a star seed, is like you'll have a unique purpose. You have a song that's specially yours to sing this lifetime. That's why you came here, and there's no other way to keep going with the life that you've been living. There's something calling you, and it's very loud in this reading. It's very, very loud. So the cow is a very nurturing animal. And so to me, it's almost like believe, use this part of yourself to reconnect with this part of yourself. Believe that you can. And I know this is hard because of Seven of Acorns. But there's, like I said, there's nowhere else to go. The next card out is the seer, and then completion, which is this. That's why the message is so strong and it's so loud to me. Is one, this could go hand in hand with this. Perhaps this part of you that's needs to come forth right now and you need to work on is the seer ability. Perhaps some of you have clairvoyant abilities that you really need to develop, or other psychic abilities that are calling for your attention, that are very much connected to this starseed energy. And it feels very much of a creative calling, as in physical. Like the father energy is very much it's, I want to say progressive, it's assertive, it's going out and doing, and it's almost like the father's more like the hunter. It takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of getting out there and doing it, and it's an exhausting process. I know it's an exhausting process. I can see it with the cards here. But perhaps some of you, I'm going to let you take a look at this card, but some of you have some abilities or precognitive, or even what's the word, premonitions, these abilities that you really have to really work at and practice and find within yourself. And this came out right next to the dead end, but really it's to me that's a completion of the old you. You need to come back to life, and um, I want to say awaken. I want to say you're being pushed to find yourself, and nothing else will do. Nothing else would do but to really focus on this process and focus on yourself. And another card that it's like they're all just, it's so loud. It's the wheel. It's the wheel in traditional tarot. It says change and possibilities. It's almost like the universe is telling you you have no other choice. You have to fulfill your mission. You have to, I want to say have to, you'll have free will, of course, but it's almost like you're really being pushed by your spiritual team, by the universe, by everything you need to, for help to become this brand new person coming out of this egg. And to me, this egg was not broken by anybody. It's you from the inside, really going at it and having to work for your freedom, for your newfound life. And around this card, I always notice this, but because of the idea of the star seed and being starborn, these little stars all around. But yeah, the only thing that will bring you out of this dead end feeling and this really just transformational is finding harmony, finding your own integrity, finding your harmony within yourself, and becoming who you signed up to be. I mean, I'm going to show you these cards, but here we go. It's really like, I'm going to leave you with this. It's really like you are now in a place in your life where, let's see here, you're going through a major transformation. Focus on these. Focus on these. Your father energy, whatever happened within you or outside of you with a father figure, with father energies. Be very determined and keep going. No matter how hard it gets, this ultimately will complete the process and bring you to your true power, which for a lot of you is the power of being a seer, which is very exciting. It's just, you'll see a lot of truth. You see a lot of the way that things truly are, and not all these illusions and not all these constructs that society has put upon us. But you really see how deeply things run. So this is exciting. I know this process is hard, but I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.